We are almost halfway through the month of January. Today we will be discussing sneakers to resell in the remainder of January. I am making this part 2 a little earlier than usual since there are some pretty time-sensitive updates I need to get to you guys before the 14th. If you're not into reselling, that's okay as well. You could use this guide to know what are going to be the most hyped sneakers, the most limited, or even what popular general releases may potentially go on sale because, hey, we're all trying to save a little bit of money here and there. Specifically, we'll be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or if they may even sit on shelves, resulting in a sale price. Feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on all of these profitable releases because the rest of January is looking far better than the start of it. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter for urgent updates and info, KeithAdam10, and also personals for you. Kicking it off, just a quick update from my last video since I did mention the SB Dunk Street Hawker was supposed to drop on the 13th. They ended up loading for the 13th, but just recently, the date actually changed on sneakers to the 22nd. So luckily still this month, just a little over a week later than what we expected. The retail is $110. Expect these to be extremely profitable with an incredible margin as well. Now, moving on to the 14th, we will be seeing a lot of dunks releasing. However, this drop will be a little different than what I discussed in my Had a Cop video, hence I really needed to get this video out soon. Despite being loaded for January 14th across all the sites I did discuss in my Had a Cop video, it appears that they have actually just removed them from the calendars from a few of the larger sites, specifically the retailers that I mentioned in the Had a Cop video that normally don't receive dunks. It is confirmed that they do have pairs still, but they will not be dropping on the 14th for an unknown reasons. These include Foot Sites, Hibbett, Snipes, Finish Line, JD Sports for example, and Sneakers is also delayed too. Some Foot Sites have loaded them now again for February 4th, so perhaps we'll be seeing them on February 4th. If not, I will keep you guys updated on when the next date will be for those other sites. Now, in the meantime, all Europe retailers are still set to drop on the 14th, and Shopify sites in the US for some of these smaller retailers are still set to drop on the 14th as well. Not exactly sure why they're going this route and splitting up this release, and it's making it so disorganized, but it is what it is. When it comes to all these dunk lows, expect them to be very profitable with a great margin. The dunk highs will also be profitable, just with a slightly lower margin. Still a great cop though. Be sure to check out my Had a Cop guide though, because I do also go in depth into the grade school, preschool, and toddler pairs there, which I feel do have a pretty good chance for small profit. Also on the 14th, just for Europe, the Dunk Low Disrupt sale will be dropping. However, there are really only a couple of Europe sites that did load these, and Sneakers has not loaded them yet, so some other retailers definitely might be delayed. Regardless, Dunk Disrupts have not been doing well recently due to lack of demand. With the higher retail in Europe, I really don't have good expectations for these at best. Perhaps lunch money with a very poor margin, and despite the low retail in general, I'm still skeptical of even that. If you do want a personal pair though, don't sleep, as I don't expect that to go on sale. And finally, for the 14th, the Air Max 1 LV8 Sunrise will be dropping for $150. Demand doesn't look too great as of now, but if you don't have tax in your state, you might be able to make a little bit of lunch money with a poor margin in the very large sizes, perhaps 11.5 and up. The bigger the better when it comes to Air Maxes. Not a very notable drop, but a lunch money opportunity for people who don't have tax in their state. Stick to sites with free shipping and free returns only, such as Nike Sneakers, if that does apply to you. Moving on to January 15th, we have the entire Ray Gun collection dropping. This consists of the Air Force One, Air Raid, Blazer, Converse, Uptempo, and Kyrie. For this collection, I would primarily only suggest these for personal wear, not for resale purposes, unfortunately. However, the Blazer and Converse specifically may have a little bit of lunch money potential for people with no tax in their state. Still, not really anything too notable though. Just in general, the demand for this collection isn't too great, but the small retails on these pairs does leave a little bit of potential. Also on the 15th, the LeBron 18 Chlorine Blue will release for $200. Personal only when it comes to these, not for resale purposes. In fact, I do think you may be able to get these for under retail if you do wait for a sale on them or a dip in the secondary market. And finally, for the 15th, the SNS New Balance will be releasing for $200. Despite the slightly higher than usual retail for a New Balance, I would still suggest going for these. I do expect them to be profitable with a very good margin as well. You can actually sign up for these right now on the SNS app. Then on January 16th for $190, the Jordan 13 Starfish will be releasing. I'm not expecting anything too notable for these, likely very similar to the Jordan 13 Lucky Green, so personal only for these, but if you do want a personal pair, don't sleep, as I do expect them to sell out, and I don't expect them to go for under retail in the secondary market. Also on the 16th, but only for Europe, the Jordan 1 Volt Gold will be having their Europe release. They already dropped in US, as you guys know. Unfortunately, they are playing out essentially exactly as I expected, as the pairs are going into circulation, with the men's pairs being just very small lunch money, and the grade school pairs being a little better with a decent margin still. I don't expect the price to change post Europe drop, especially not for the better. For this reason, I would suggest the men's pairs just for personal, but the grade school pairs seems to still be an easy small profit with a subpar margin, even with the slightly higher Europe retail. Also on January 16th, the Yeezy 380 Yekurite Reflective will be dropping for $250. However, we just got confirmation that these will be Asia exclusive as of today. This does mean that resale may be slightly better than what I initially expected, but still nothing to concern about, especially because these are definitely not worth the reshipping costs. If you hypothetically are watching this and you are located in Asia, perhaps an opportunity for a little bit of lunch money. Still nothing too great though, especially with that very high retail on these. Then on January 21st, the Jordan 4 Starfish will be dropping for $190. It's very possible we may see a similar performance as what we saw on the Laser Orange Women's Jordan 3s. For that reason, I'd say keep note of these, but only expect lunch money in sizes 10 and up. The bigger the better. Nothing too significant here, but some potential for some lunch money nonetheless. I'll update you guys as we approach this drop. Then on the 22nd, we will be seeing the SB Dunk Street Hawker, which we already discussed at the beginning. Also on the 22nd though, for $150, we will be seeing the Air Max 1 LV8 Obsidian release. Nothing too notable for these either. Essentially the same exact situation as we discussed for the Sunrise pair of the Air Max 1 LV8s that we already discussed. Also on the 22nd, for $190, we may be seeing the Jordan 9 University Gold release. I say may because only Finish Line has them loaded on their calendar right now, so it's possible they might end up getting delayed. Regardless, I don't really have good expectations for these anyway. Personal only. I don't expect these to go on sale either though, so if you do want a personal pair, don't sleep on them. Then on January 23rd, the Jordan 23 Titan is supposed to be having their global release. They already had their drop in the Philippines on December 23rd, but January 23rd will be their global drop, or apparently is supposed to be. Although they have a lot of demand, the high retail of $250 really hurts the potential to profit. For now, I'd suggest these for personal wear only. Then on the same day, the Jordan 35 Titan is supposed to drop as well. I'm saying supposed to for these because that's what multiple sources have been posting, but I can't confirm it for myself as of yet, but I will keep you guys updated. Retail is a little lower on these at $180, but demand isn't as high. At best, I would only expect lunch money with the very large size. Also on January 23rd, we will be getting the Yeezy 700 Sun. Initially, I said I had very poor expectations for these, but now we have a very interesting update for these. Apparently, the retail is only $240 rather than the traditional $300 for Yeezy 700s. This absence of $60 does leave a small window for profitability potential, primarily in sizes under 8. I still wouldn't expect a good margin, but lunch money opportunity nonetheless. Also on January 23rd, for $215, the Chinese New Year Jordan 5 Low will be dropping. As discussed in my last video, I don't have great expectations for these due to the very high retail, and demand is already looking to be nothing too significant. I can see a lunch money opportunity with these with a subpar margin since there is some demand for these, but nothing too notable. And finally, on January 23rd, we should also be seeing the Jordan 1 Low Chinese New Year for $130. Although I don't expect demand to be too incredible for these, the very low retail still leaves plenty of room for these to be profitable with a decent margin or better. Not to mention, I also expect these to be a really solid long-term hold. Moving on to January 28th, for $120, according to Pirates, the Dunk PRM Dark Russet will be dropping. Expect these to be profitable with a great margin when they do end up releasing. Evidently, we have quite a lot of dunks this month. Also on the 28th, for $110, the Dunk Low Curry will be dropping. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin. Not much else to it. And finally, for January 28th, the Jordan 4 Taupe Haze will be dropping for $200. Considering this colorway is very reminiscent of the highly sought after undefeated Jordan 4, which goes for thousands now, this does inevitably add some demand to them. I still don't expect anything extreme extremely notable for these, but I'm still expecting a decent profit to be made with them with a subpar margin, an easy money opportunity nonetheless. Also on January 30th for $190, the Jordan 3 Cool Gray may be dropping, although a nostalgic colorway due to the high stock. I'm only expecting lunch money at best in the large sizes, mainly for people with no tax in their state. Also on January 30th, the Change the World Jordan 9 may also be dropping for $190. I'm not expecting anything too good for these. In fact, you may be able to get these for under retail in the secondary market if you do want a pair, so nothing to worry about here. Moving to some drops with no date still, the Adidas Superstar Bape collab should be dropping in January, according to Pirates, for $150. Although Adidas Bape collabs used to do well, due to the influx in stock recently, they haven't really been performing the way they used to, and these aren't really anything special. Therefore, I'd only expect lunch money at the very best for these. And also in January, with no date yet, the Nike Dunk Thank You for Caring will be dropping for $110. Without a doubt, expect these to be extremely profitable with an incredible margin, although we don't know the exact date yet. Again, I will keep you guys updated. So anyway, I will conclude it there, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, or you perhaps learned a thing or two. Subscribe if you happen to be new, just so you stay 100% updated on all hype sneakers, and follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you for more urgent updates. And lastly, feel free to check out the links in the description for reliable, fast, residential proxies or Nike sneakers accounts. With that though, enjoy the rest of your day, and good luck on these upcoming drops.